What is emotion and what are the different ways to control emotion? Emotions are natural and essential aspects of human life. They help us to experience, express, and communicate our feelings, thoughts, and values. Emotions can also motivate us to take action, make decisions, and cope with challenges. However, sometimes emotions can become overwhelming, intense, or disruptive, affecting our well-being, relationships, and performance. In such cases, it is important to learn how to control our emotions effectively, without suppressing or denying them. Controlling emotions does not mean ignoring or avoiding them. It means being aware of them, understanding them, and managing them in healthy and constructive ways. Controlling emotions can help us to reduce stress, improve mood, enhance self-esteem, and increase emotional intelligence. Here are some different ways to control emotion. 1. Breathe deeply. Breathing is a powerful tool to regulate our emotions and calm our nervous system. When we feel emotional, our breathing often becomes shallow, fast, or irregular, which can amplify our distress and anxiety. By taking slow, deep, and rhythmic breaths, we can lower our heart rate, blood pressure, and muscle tension, and restore a sense of balance and relaxation. To practice deep breathing, place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, feeling your abdomen expand. Hold the breath for 1 or 2 seconds, then exhale through your mouth for 4 seconds, feeling your abdomen contract. Repeat this cycle for several minutes until you feel calmer. 2. Reframe your thoughts. Our thoughts have a significant influence on our emotions and behaviors. Sometimes we may have negative or irrational thoughts that trigger or worsen our emotional reactions. For example, we may think that we are worthless, hopeless, or helpless when we face a difficult situation or make a mistake. These thoughts can make us feel depressed, angry, or ashamed. To control our emotions, we need to challenge and reframe our thoughts in more positive and realistic ways. For example, we can think that we are valuable, capable, and resilient despite our challenges and setbacks. These thoughts can make us feel more confident, optimistic, and motivated. 2. 3. Express your emotions. Another way to control our emotions is to express them in appropriate and healthy ways. Expressing our emotions can help us to release pent-up feelings, gain clarity and perspective, and receive support and feedback from others. We can express our emotions verbally by talking to someone we trust, such as a friend, family member, or therapist. We can also express our emotions non-verbally by writing in a journal, drawing a picture, playing music, or engaging in physical activity. 4. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment with curiosity and openness, without judgment or resistance. Mindfulness can help us to control our emotions by increasing our self-awareness and acceptance of our feelings as they arise. Instead of reacting impulsively or automatically to our emotions, we can observe them objectively and respond consciously and intentionally. We can practice mindfulness by meditating regularly or by incorporating mindful activities into our daily routine. 5. Use coping skills. Coping skills are strategies that help us to deal with stressors and challenges that trigger or affect our emotions. Coping skills can be problem-focused or emotion-focused or emotion. Problem-focused coping skills involve taking action to change or solve the situation that causes us emotional distress. For example, we can set goals, make plans, seek information or advice from others, or negotiate or compromise with others. Emotion-focused coping skills involve changing or regulating our emotional response to the situation that causes us emotional distress. For example, we can use relaxation techniques, seek social support, use humor, or distract ourselves with positive activities. 6. Seek professional help. Sometimes our emotions may be too intense, persistent, or disruptive to control on our own. We may experience symptoms of mental health disorders such as depression, anxiety, bipolar disorders, or post-traumatic stress disorder. In such cases, it is important to seek professional help from a qualified mental health provider, such as a psychologist, psychiatrist, or counselor. Professional help can offer us diagnosis, treatment, and guidance on how to manage our emotions effectively. According to some sources, Socrates believed that emotions are in some way constituted by cognitive states, such as beliefs and judgments. He also believed that reason, properly cultivated, can and ought to be the all-controlling factor in human life. He maintained absolute command over his emotions and his apparent indifference to physical hardships. He also argued that emotions can often lead to irrational and immoral actions, and that a wise person should not let himself be swayed by them. Socrates also gave some advice on how to control emotions, especially in the face of adversity and misfortune. In Plato's Republic, he claimed that a good person who loses something or someone dear to him will bear the loss with greater equanimity than others, because he is more self-sufficient and less dependent on external things. He also said that a good person will moderate his sorrow by following the principle of law and reason, which tells him to be patient and resist being overwhelmed by grief. Socrates offered 4 reasons why reason tells us to be patient in such situations. We do not know whether the things that happen to us are good or bad in the grand scheme of things. We should not be too attached to our mortal bodies and worldly possessions, but rather focus on our immortal souls and the pursuit of virtue. We should not offend the gods by complaining about our fate, but rather accept their will and trust their wisdom. We should not make ourselves more miserable by indulging in excessive lamentation, but rather seek consolation from our friends and philosophy. Socrates' view of emotions and their control can be seen as an early precursor of Stoicism, a school of philosophy that developed later in Greece and Rome. The Stoics also held that emotions are based on judgments, that reason is the supreme faculty of human beings, and that we should strive to live according to nature and virtue. According to Plato, emotions are part of the human soul, which he divided into 3 parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. Reason is the highest and noblest part, which seeks knowledge and truth. Spirit is the middle part, which seeks honor and glory. Appetite is the lowest and basest part, which seeks pleasure and comfort. Emotions belong to either spirit or appetite, depending on their object and intensity. For example, anger is an emotion of spirit, while lust is an emotion of appetite. 1. Plato believed that emotions can be either beneficial or harmful, depending on how they are controlled by reason. He argued that reason should be the master of the soul, and that it should regulate and moderate the emotions of spirit and appetite. He also argued that emotions can be educated and trained by philosophy, music, poetry, and law. Plato's ideal person is the philosopher king, who has a harmonious soul in which reason rules over spirit and appetite, and who experiences rational emotions such as wisdom, courage, moderation, and justice. According to Aristotle, emotions are natural and essential aspects of human life. Emotions is those things through which people change by experiencing pleasure or pain. Rhetoric 1378, 820. Emotions involve both cognition and desire. Emotions are those things through which people differ in their judgments. Rhetoric 1378, 8-22. And emotions are those things through which people are moved to act or not to act. Rhetoric 1378, 8-23. Emotions can be either virtuous or vicious, depending on how they are guided by reason. He argued that reason should not suppress or eliminate emotions, but rather shape and direct them according to the right measure and the right situation. Emotions can be cultivated and improved by habituation, education, and moral exemplars. A person is the virtuous person who has a balanced soul in which reason governs over emotions, and who experiences appropriate emotions such as courage, temperance,